Yo, what's up YouTube? I'm Max. This is my affirmation video to my affirmation journal of a book I've been copying called The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. Like I said, this is my affirmation video to my affirmation journal. I have everything written here. That's just what I do. I'm Max, and I hope you're tuned in. This is the true nature of space and time. This is just one take. Now consider this. If there were nothing but silence, it wouldn't exist for you. You wouldn't know what it is, only when it appears the silence come into being. Similarly, there is space without any objects in space, it wouldn't exist for you. Imagine yourself at a point of consciousness, floating in the vastness of space, no stars, no galaxies, just emptiness. Suddenly space wouldn't be vast anymore. It wouldn't be all that there. There would be no speed, no movement from there to there, to here to there, wherever. At last, 2 points of all of this is just needed for the distance of space to come into being. Space comes into being in that moment. That one moment becomes into two and becomes to 2,000 things. And as you call it, the space becomes more and more vast. So world and space arise simultaneously. Nothing could be without space, yet space is nothing. Before the universe came into being, before the Big Bang. If you like. There wasn't a vast empty space waiting for it to be filled. There was no space, there was no thing, there was only the unmanifested, the one. When the one becomes the 10,000 things, suddenly space seems to be there and unable to be there anymore, and it's just amazing of how you are all inspired by what I have just said. And where did it come from? Was it created by God to accommodate the universe? Of course not. Space is no thing, so it was never created. Go out on a clear night and look up to the sky. See the 10,000s and millions of stars with the naked eye. And no more than all of that is just a fraction that is there. Over 100 billion galaxies can be detected with the most powerful telescope. Each galaxy has an island universe with billions of stars. Yet, what is even more awe-inspiring is the infinity amount of space itself, the depth of stillness that allows all of that magnificence to be. Nothing could be more awe-inspiring and majestic than anything of this vast stillness of space, and yet what is it? Emptiness, vast emptiness. What appears to us as space in our universe perceived through the mind and the sense is the unmanifested itself, externalized. It is the body of God, and the greatest miracle is this. The stillness and vastness that enables the universe to be is not just out there in space, it is also within you. When you're utterly and totally present, you encounter this as a still inner space of no mind. Within you is a vast in-depth and mass extension of spatial extensions, of ultimate misperceptions, of infinite depth, an attribute of the most transcendental reality. According to Einstein, space and time are now separate. I don't really understand it, but I think he is saying that time is the fourth dimension of space. He calls it space-time continuum. Yes, what you perceive externally as space and time are ultimately illusionary, but they contain a core amount of truth. They are two essential attributes of God, infinitely and in eternity, perceived as they had an external existence outside of you. Within you, both space and time have an inner equivalent that reveals their true nature as well as your own. Whereas space is still infinitely deep realm of no mind. I'm not thinking about anything right now. I'm just saying all these words. The inner equivalent of time is the present awareness of the eternal now. Remember that there is no distinction between them. When space and time are realized with as the unmanifested no mind and presence external, space and time continue to exist for you, but they become less important. The world continues to exist for you, but you will not be bound by it anymore. Hence, the ultimate purpose of the world lies not within the world, but in the transcendence of the world. Just as you would not be conscious of space if there were no objects in space, the world is needed for the unmanifested to be realized. You may be here or have heard the Buddha saying, if there were no illusion, there would be no enlightenment. It is through the world and ultimately through you that the unmanifested knows itself. You are here to enable the divine purpose of the universe to unfold. That is how important you are. And that was The True Nature of Space and Time by Eckhart Tolle in the book The Power of Now. It's my affirmation video, my affirmation journal. This was just one take. I'm Max. Thanks for listening, and I'm out.